Dustin's going to tell us about his truck.
Yeah, I'm Dustin Dickerson. I'm the owner of Dickerson Custom Trucks. We're out of Thorntown, Indiana. We build all kinds of cool stuff up there. We make all of our own parts in-house. We got a company called Parts for Rigs. We make all the parts and pieces you see here. We don't make exhaust and we don't make fenders. Other than that, you can let your mind wander. We've got you covered on all that. But got Storm Surge here behind us. So we have been, we built this in, well, started it a little bit before, I guess about January, for the big rig build off in Louisville. And haven't really shown it at all since then, so we brought it out here, wanted to get it out of the shop and bring it out and let everybody see it again. A lot of people haven't seen it, didn't even know about it, so it's kind of fun to get it out again. We got Caterpillar 3412. It's 1,000 horsepower.
If just wonder about the noise, that's some drag races going, testing tune behind us.
Yeah. So we've got, like I say, a Caterpillar 3412 that we've got from a salvage yard, I guess you'd say like equipment salvage yard. Came out of a D11 dozer, and we built headers for it. A buddy of mine from California, Josh Whelan, he set me up with these headers. We cut all the pie cuts and all the pieces at the shop on the laser, and was able to get, he can work his magic, got those all put together for us. We did a bunch of custom machining, obviously on the valve covers and stuff, and then the air intake setup is much different than what you'd find on a stock 3412. Had a custom radiator built for it, D&B heat transfer. Michigan set us up with that radiator. We've got some suspension on the front of there. It's all independent front suspension. We built all that stuff at the shop. It is, I should say, I didn't build the A-arms and everything. I bought all that stuff, but we built all the cradle and everything. Figured out all the geometry, all that stuff, because that's a kit they offer for like a motorhome retrofit. If you had a straight axle motorhome and you needed to, either wanted to put it on air ride or whatever it may be, you could buy that kit and it would just bolt to the frame. Well, on a motorhome you don't have the constraint of an engine being up there in the way, so their cradle is very just angular, you know, and obviously with the giant engine in there that wasn't going to work. So we just bought the A-arms and the hubs and stuff and built the rest of it from there.
So your engine is a V12?
V12, yeah, 1,000 horsepower, 3450 torque. So it's a very torquey engine.
And that's not the original Peterbilt engine.
No. This truck here had a 3406E in it. So this is a 96 379 is what it is. That's what it started life. When we set out to build this truck, I was online looking for V8 engines and ran across this V12, and I thought, well, if 8's cool, 12's got to be better. So I wanted to get that under a factory. I didn't want to stretch it. And we were able to achieve that by getting rid of all the accessory drive, all the stuff in the front. That's why we've got the electric fans, because I shoved that motor as far forward as we could. Actually moved the radiator forward as well. Didn't modify any of the front, like all the bumper and everything, the grill, it's all in factory location. But I just needed to scoot that motor as far forward as we possibly could and just did a small cutout on the firewall where the air compressor on the 3412s, the air compressor and the V8s for that matter, sit on the back, not up like a inline six, you know, they're up in the front.
Yep.
So we notched the firewall out for that. We were able to run a flat panel behind that engine just to really clean that firewall up a lot. It's got hydraulic steering, so we were able to pretty much perfectly mirror passenger to driver's side. There's no steering shaft like you would typically have in a gearbox and stuff like that on the front. So super clean. Basically the MO for this truck when we set out to build it was really low, super clean. We didn't want to see any wiring, no just random hoses, all that stuff. So we have everything ran in steel braided line, as you'll see as we get to the back. It's either in steel braided line or it's just not there. You know, we hit it in the frame and stuff like that.
The wheels?
They're 28-inch wheels. Yeah, we had those custom made by JTX Forged, and then Lacey Blair actually powder coated them for us. So she did a great job on those. Shaved the door handles, so like I say, 96 379. We jump back to the hood. I needed 3 more inches. I couldn't shove the hood or the engine far enough forward so I didn't have to cut the firewall out big time. So I put a 389 hood on it because the 389 hood is 3 inches longer than a 379 long hood. So that gave me just enough to get where I needed to be. So we moved the cab back, and that allowed us to not cut the firewall all to pieces.
Okay, so
shape, all new body panels, everything, roof caps, all of it, everything new. We built all the cabin sleeper panels, the breather light panels, the visor, the window chops. All that stuff is made by our company, Parts for Rigs, and we do, you know, everything is 304 grade stainless steel, but a lot of the stuff that we make we paint, you know. So no door handles, shaved all those. 48-inch sleeper should not have a full-size door on the passenger side, and you know, some of like the 359s had a full-size door on the, you know, favoring the front.
Yeah.
But we wanted it lined up in the back so it was symmetrical on both sides. So when I first set out to figure out the stance on this truck, I took a measurement from the bottom of the fuel tank to the ground, and that told me how much I had to lower it. I want to think it was 9 inches or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head, but that's the measurement that I started working with. I drew all this chassis out in CAD and figured out placement on everything and how high it needed to be. I calculated how much we needed to C-notch the frame. We designed all the suspension in-house. We built everything, all the light bars, everything in-house for this truck. This is the actual original 96 frame. And then we stretched it 4 feet. That stretched it out to 317 wheelbase. And we boxed in the frame, obviously. We inverted the drive shaft, which is kind of a double-edged sword. It sits so low that the drive shaft angle from the last carrier bearing to the power divider there would have been so steep it would have chattered for sure. So I wanted to just flip it over and actually make the drive shaft a spectacle and not have any deck plate or anything. So that's why we needed to box in the frame, clean that all up. All of our lines, some of those over there are air lines, some of them are electric. We actually have our electrical running through steel braided line just like a hose. So blended our fifth wheel riser in. That's all. It starts out as 1/4 inch plate steel, and then we draw it all up, figure out how tall things need to be, what the angles are, and all that stuff. We cut it out on the laser at the shop, and then the fab guys, they go to town building it all out and getting it looking like it's supposed to. So we actually drilled. We didn't drill. We were going to drill. We didn't end up drilling, but we slotted all the rotors, so it's kind of race car stuff.
How cool.
Yeah. So let's see, what else do we got?
Okay, you got nice covers on the inside on the nuts and all that.
Yep. All the. For my track bar, I couldn't find any big enough to put over that, so we're gonna have to either make something or figure something out. Probably. Yeah. The rear fenders are kind of a cool thing too. Hoagbuilt set us up with the fenders. We're a dealer of theirs and have a really good working relationship with those guys. And our salesman called us up and was like, "Hey, I heard you're going to be in the build-off. I want to get you some fenders." I was like, "Okay, I appreciate that. I'll figure out what I want and I'll let you know." Well, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days went by. Hadn't called him back, so he called me. He's like, "Hey, what do you want? I want to make sure you have plenty of time."
He's angry.
Yeah, it certainly is. He said, "I want to make sure you have plenty of time to get your truck done and everything." So I said, just send me a set of really long single axle fenders. Like, "Oh, okay. Well, if that's all you want." So I was like, "Well, you know, that's obviously not cool enough." So I said, "Well, let me think about it. Go ahead and get them set up, because I know I'm doing single axle fenders and I know I want them extra long. So go ahead and do that and get them made up." And so I called him back. I was like, "Send me 8 of them." So what we did is we call it just a fender on a fender.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to paint the front half and have the back half be stainless steel. And one of the guys at the shop came up with dimple in them just to add a little bit more.
They really look like an eyebrow.
Yeah. It's just, you know, the idea that I had with them was originally we were going to do kind of like half fenders, so we were only going to have the painted part. But I couldn't think in my mind how I could get a fender bracket up in there and be as clean as I wanted it to be. So that's how I kind of had because I want it to be like all the old choppers. So a lot of times have like a big 300 rear tire. That's kind of the original design we were going to do. But as wide as this is, and being unsupported, we were afraid it was going to maybe sit there and bounce around. So that's kind of why we kept this.
Yeah, this is a lot more rigid.
Yeah, for sure. And we like I say, we dimpled them. That adds a bit of a strength too, and just a nice little design cue. A lot of the stuff in this truck is in threes. You know, we got 3 dimples. There's 3 speed holes in our frame, suspension arms, and our lights are all in threes.
Yep.
Just kind of a
threes on there.
Yeah, just whatever. Yeah. So, just kind of what we were trying to do, you know.
So I understand the dash is going to be all digital. Can we get a sneak peek without turning it on?
It's not quite complete. It's ugly right now.
Okay, good. We'll leave it alone.
Yeah. So next weekend, we'll have it all done. So what we kind of changed gears from Louisville. We were trying to have a touch screen that was all one big screen, and then we were building a fiberglass dash that was completely custom. And we've still got the bits and pieces of it, but we're going a different way. We're going to use 2 independent screens and putting a 359 style dash in it. We're building all the lower dash plates and all the stuff. The guys are actually working on that right now at the shop. And we'll have 2 screens. They're still touch screen. All the gauges are still going to be virtual. All the switches and everything are still virtual. We actually have graphically recreated, I guess you'd say, jeweled toggle switch extension. So when you push it, you know, it flips up and down like an old 359. Yep. So all the gauges are laid out and arranged in order like a 359 would be, including the indicators in the middle and your turn signal indicators and things like that. The little metal flip knobs for like 5th wheel slide and rear suspension deflate stuff, we've recreated those virtually. So when they flip back and forth, it's going to be super, super cool. It's going to be better than what we were going to do. It's just not quite done yet.
So who came up with the name?
So Peter Norton and I own this truck together, and his company is Hurricane Specialized. So everything that we ever build for him, that's like, we built a lot of trucks for him that's more like this one here, more work truck, but really nice work truck. Anything that we go crazy on is always hurricane related. So we built him a truck called Category 5. This one's called Storm Surge. They all just kind of have a weather, stormy related name.
Related around the hurricane.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So my wife actually asked ChatGPT for good storm related truck show or you know, truck names or whatever, and it shot back 8 or 10 of them, and most of them were terrible. But it came back with Storm Surge something or something Storm Surge, and we chopped it down a little closer. So I don't know, it's the world we live in now. I guess AI even names our trucks, you know. So, yep. But yeah, no, we're super proud of this thing. We're really, really anxious to get that interior finished up and get it where we can show it with the doors open. But it's super close, but I don't want to show it off just yet.
That's okay. That's fine. We've seen the old dash in Louisville, so
yeah. I'm not sure at this stage of the game, right at the moment, the old dash probably looked better, if you can even imagine, because it didn't look good. So, but we're really close. Yeah.
So that's we appreciate you bringing it out and showing it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And we're going to shoot some more footage of both of these trucks.
Do. Yeah, please do.
And then some around the booth.
Talk to you about that one over there a little bit if you'd like later on.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.